G'day, Teef. What's going on here?
I've decided to quit mountain bike riding.
Oh,
And I'm dusting off the Belgie. I am. Me and my sticking around just for a little bit. I thought I might go ride a bike that isn't 1,000,000 kilos. But in doing that, it was also a bit to actually do a video with me in it for a change, so people could see that I actually still exist.
you're much prettier. So where are we at the moment? You've got your work boots on, I see. I do as well.
I'm sorry.
Sophie doesn't take a holiday.
Yeah, I've got my activewear.
Oh yeah, you've got your. Well, this is the weekend, isn't it?
This is as close to lycra than I get. Yeah.
You've got your active sportswear on.
Yeah.
Oh, geez, do that again. Look at that leg muscle. Oh, look at that.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry.
Thanks, mate.
Anyway, you've got your active sportswear on because it is Saturday.
It is Saturday.
He's ducking down to the 7-Eleven to get some smokes.
Oh, you're confusing me.
Sorry, we're at
Anyway.
Curve. We're at Curve in Melbourne.
Curve.
Saturday morning.
Yeah, this is our new tent.
We won't show you where we slept anyway.
Yeah.
Okay.
Concrete's so comfy.
Yeah.
So just kind of following on the back end the other day of tubes are for surfers. This video is for the surfers. But it's kind of a way to prevent flats from a little bit of a different angle. So with my road bike, and I wish I had done this on the Trans Am. I didn't. I decided to suffer countless flats and carrying a bazillion tubes, which can be very difficult to change when these don't work. So someone told me, who would be the person on the other side of the camera.
Before the Trans Am.
Yeah, before the Trans Am. Did it for everything else. A good way to eliminate flats is to actually use sealant inside the tube. So that's what we're double checking today. So, whoop, there's a little bit in there still. G'day, mate.
Some in there.
I haven't ridden this bike properly probably since the Indy Pack.
It's been sitting up there.
It's been sitting up there on its
stand.
throne. And
So Teef's just getting ready for the Indy Pack this year.
Don't. People will take that literally.
No, she's definitely doing it. She's definitely doing
I've
it.
even got a branding
Yeah,
on
the Indy
bike.
Pack.
Yeah.
Indy Pack's back this year. Teef's up. Teef's up and running.
Don't. You're
Let's
starting
do it.
fires.
Let's do it.
Oh, I can't talk about fires.
But anyway, yeah, so a lot of people think tubeless is the way to go, and it probably is these days.
Yeah.
This bike's been 1,000,000 years, or this bike is 1,000,000 years old. Not 1,000,000, but it's kind of, it's been around for a while, so it wasn't a tubeless setup.
No, it wasn't, but
So,
it became a tubeless setup. So just to give you a little bit of an example. So
we're saying even with tubes, you can put some sealant in them and have the same effect.
So when I did the Indy Pack, I didn't change my tyres once, which is not what we normally recommend with the long races, but every time I came past a bike shop it was like 2 a.m. and obviously I couldn't access a service or anything like that. So even after the race stopped, and I think I still rode this bike for a few more months, I got over 5,000 kilometres, almost 6,000 kilometres on these tyres.
How many flats did you get, Teef?
0.
And
Zero.
so that's on the rough,
So,
nasty roads of Australia where there's all sorts of rubbish.
Yeah, and I don't use any whiz-bang tyre. I'm not sure what's on there at the moment. I've
They're
got
good tyres,
Victoria's.
actually.
These are good, but normally I use
They're-
Continental Grand Prix and just the entry-level ones. They're like
Not the GP
40
4000s or
bucks.
5000s
No,
or
not
8000s,
the,
whatever they're up to
I
now.
use the 25s and they're like $40 Australian each. And they're probably the least likely tyre people would take on a race, but I think the only reason I started getting flats is because I literally just sheared my tyre off. So, but
We just found with those, the cheaper ones, they were a bit more robust.
Yeah.
And because, especially for me, because I'm a bit of a tank ass, when I started carrying more load on my bike, things like the tyre retread wires would start to come through on things like the GP 4000s. So yeah, we just use the standard Grand Prix.
And they're good. I ordered a set today. because these ones are a little tanked.
But yeah, disclaimer on that.
Anyway.
Our knowledge is probably a bit old.
Yeah,
Because we know nothing about road bikes anymore.
Yeah,
anyway.
but you know what? They worked back then, and they haven't taken the tyre off the market, so it means it must still be good.
Still around.
So if it's not broke, don't fix it.
Mm.
Anyway, you'll find too when you like when I took the tyres out eventually, when I got a flat, there was all the little like knobby bits of sealant inside the actual tube.
Sealant aliens.
Yeah, just like little, I don't know, boogers. Sealant boogers. But anyway, so what you normally could do is, I'm kind of doing mine backwards. So the tube's already in the tyres, as you can see. Normally you would start with the tube, and the key to putting the sealant in is obviously you don't slash the tyre and try and pour it in and patch it up.
Well, you can.
You can. I know Jesse's done it before. What you actually do is you need a tube that has a removable valve core. So that's this section here. Sorry, there's a bit of sealant coming out of this. Maybe we show the other one just for...
Oh, you're going to remove it?
No, I'm going to remove it anyway.
Yeah, just take it out.
Get out! No, you need one of these. Thanks, Curve. So this is a removable valve core tool.
It looks a bit more complex than the little black
tiny
little things that we carry
you
around.
get a little small one,
key.
a smaller one that's kind of this big. But this is like the bee's knees of.
So what do we do?
So
just take the little end bit out.
You let the air out first, because if you don't, you're going to get sealant all over your bloody face. So I just kind of wind that back in a bit.
So it's also good as well if you're running removable valve cores.
To carry one of these at all times.
To also make sure. Thanks, Steph. You want to finish
For people that can't see the other side of the camera, I could hear his eyes rolling because I cut him off again. Sorry, what were you going to say?
No, I was just going to say.
I hate it when we finish each other's sentences.
Well, it's usually just one way there, mate. Yeah, what we normally do is we will tighten our valve cores as well before we pump up our tyres.
Yep.
As well, just to make sure we don't rip out the valve cores.
There's a lot of pumps, and as much as I love the Design stuff, they're awesome at ripping valve cores out if you're not careful. So
yeah, you just tighten them up.
Yeah.
Be fine.
So most valves would fit this section here. So righty tighty. So hopefully sealant doesn't come out and spray us everywhere.
This could be a good video.
It could be if I could get it out.
Yeah. Do you know if it's even removable?
Actually, I'm sure they both are, because there's sealant in there. How else would we have got the sealant in? Huh?
I don't know. Maybe we punctured it. It does look like it is. It is.
It's just not going off. The other one came off so well. Bloody hell.
Oh, we might need to hold on to...
I'm doing this the wrong way completely
Alright,
too.
I'm just going to pause this so I can try to find some pliers.
Yeah.
Alright, so we found some pliers.
Yeah.
All right.
So sometimes if the bike's been sitting on the shelf for 3,000 years, stuff starts to gunk up, so need a pair of these.
Yeah, so just to hold...
to hold the valve in place.
This is way more complicated than it normally is, isn't
Yeah.
it?
So, oh, look at that.
So then,
We definitely didn't loosen that
no,
when
we
it was
didn't.
on pause.
Yeah, we didn't listen.
So normally this is how easily it would come off. The one that I did before we came up with the idea for the video was perfect. So
This makes it a much more interesting video,
yeah.
obviously. Alright, so that's the valve
We
core.
were really worried that was going to turn into a gush fest.
Oh, that would have been much more fun.
Yeah, so you can see there's bits of sealant stuck around it anyway.
So that's probably been sitting there for 2 years,
So you just,
hasn't it?
You throw that away.
Just keep it still for like a second there,
Just
mate.
trying to clean it off, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's the valve core.
Yeah.
Alright.
So we keep that there so we don't lose it.
So what do we have to do now?
So
We're
we need
just
to,
injecting some sealant into that.
So, sealant, pretty sure this opening's alright. You don't need a lot. That's probably way too much, probably. But it depends on what you're doing. Like if you're riding across the country, go nuts.
Alright, so what do we do?
Now, again, this would be so much easier if my bike wasn't on a bike stand, because I need to somehow angle this
That's alright.
without making a mess. Maybe that way's easier, because I don't have that in the way.
Do you want me to get out of the way?
No, you're alright. Whoop.
It's alright. It can get a bit messy as long as some of it goes in.
Yeah. So don't just hammer it and squeeze a bugger.
It's good to put it on an angle actually, like you've got it
Yeah.
at the moment, because then
The air bubbles
the
too.
sealant comes down there and goes runs down rather than
Oh yeah.
have issues.
That's why I did that. It was deliberate.
Nah, you're doing well.
So just press gently. Make sure that you can see the air bubbles going through too, so you know it's going in.
It's like feeding a baby animal with a bottle, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like feeding a koala.
Hey, little baby Belgie.
All right. So the idea here is we put a bit of sealant in. The sealant goes into the tube, and so it has the same effect as if you're riding like tubeless. So what happens is you might get a little bit of wire or something, so it's all gone in.
Just to show that it's actually going in, and this isn't me bullshitting. So most of that's gone in now. So the thing you need to remember too is once the sealant's in, when you do need to put air in your tyre at any point, put the air in further up here. Don't always unscrew it at the bottom, because sometimes if there is a lot of sealant like this sitting in here, if the air's in there, it's just going to spray everywhere. And
get up and gunk up your pump as well, won't it?
Yeah. So I need to put this little guy back in. So exactly the same process. Make sure that the top's kind of screwed in. I'll whack her in there. You can start by hand tightening, just so you can line the thread.
So what I was trying to say before was it's worth really tightening the valve core if you're using one of those screw-on pump heads, like with the hose pump.
Yeah,
like
that's what I was talking about
that
before
we
with the
use,
Design one. I love the pumps, but there's a few people I know in time when I've had flats and gentlemen have stepped in to try and fix them for me, and then they've ripped them out.
You must love that. Yeah. No, but it's actually good fun. After a while, it's once you've played around with it a little bit, it's good fun to try to get the pump on and off without.
It's just like it becomes a game. It's like, hey. There's been a lot of times. What did we do recently with Carly? The valve was stuck or something.
That was a nasty one. No, because the valve core itself was busted, and so we had to get it out somehow, but it was stuck in my pump. So we had to get it out of the pump tube itself, pump hose itself, and then it was a mess, and replace it. So I needed to get we had a little safety pin that we jammed in here, got some purchase on the rubber gasket in there, that was O-ring, and then use that to unwind it with with the safety pin. That was a classic.
That was a classic example that day of refusing to put a tube in.
Yeah.
So poor Carly, flashbacking, she had a
but the thing was,
list of issues that day.
What we did in the end was we just put a tubeless plug in and she was fine. So it was like our
previous video.
See the previous video.
So I haven't actually done the other one.
Which we were saying, what was it? Death before tubes.
Death
but
before
here we
tubes.
are. Here we are with tubes.
Yeah. Well, that's what I said. This is we wouldn't take this video bike on a off-road race. I thought, we should do a video for the
for the roadies. But a lot of people are probably riding tubeless.
I might do a road race game one day.
Yeah, well, you've signed up for the Indy Pack this year again, haven't you? It's not long. You better get training. All right. So what are we doing now? Oh yeah, look, there we are. What do we? This is brand new paint, brand new.
It's brand new
artwork as well.
It's not.
All right. So is that it, Teef? Do you want to add anything else?
I'm just going to do the other one now.
Okay. All right. Well,
this one came out really easily before.
Yeah, that one's a nice easy one. All right. Well, that's probably it for this one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, have you had any luck with putting sealant in tubes? If so,
I thought you were asking me.
Let us know down there. Now, this is the end bit. We're being really pro. We're trying to. So the thing is, you have to get people to add comments and stuff. So that's what I'm trying to do.
We had a couple on the last one.
So had any luck with sealant in tubes?
I like the one on the last one about using half the dyno plug to save money.
But that was deleted though, that comment.
Was it?
Yeah, I was trying to reply to it, but then
it was asking
got
to
deleted.
use half of the little manky bit just because broke or something.
Well, I can totally get that.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, anyway, any other ideas for some tips videos, just add them down there as well, and we'll get to it. Tiff's all motivated to make piles of videos in the lead up to her Indy Pack tilt this year.
Knee you in the balls if you come any closer.
All right, say see you later, Tiff.
See you later. Tiff. Why?